Hey everyone, the Talking Dads podcast is brought to you by Little Scholars Early Learning Center. Whether your family needs infant care, a preschool program, or before and after school care, Little Scholars' highly rated Step Up to Quality programs provide quality early childhood education at an affordable price. Visit www.littlescholars.net to get in contact with an enrollment specialist and schedule a tour of any of their 5 Lake County campuses. Here's the deal. Talking Dads fans are getting a little bonus. Mention that you heard about them through our podcast, and when you tour, and you'll receive $25 off of your registration fee. Again, that's Little Scholars Early Learning Center, where children learn, play, and grow together. We are also brought to you by Pub Fredo Gastropub. Pub Fredo was voted Best Gastropub in Cleveland in 2019 by Cleveland Magazine Silver Spoon Awards. We love Pub Fredo. Their menu is chef-inspired, always pushing the limits of traditional pub fare. The other night I had a burger, I believe it was called the Pub Burger. It was incredible. Cooked perfectly. It was amazing. And you won't have a problem pairing your favorite item on the menu with their great selection of local craft beers, crafted cocktails, and of course, an amazing bourbon and whiskey selection. I went with the Bullet 10-year with my Pub Burger. All of this in a cozy, fun, come-as-you-are atmosphere. You can check them out at pubfredo.com and on Facebook and Instagram at PubFredo Gastropub.
We are also brought to you by Marky Fresh Barbershop in Mentor, Ohio.
Bro, I love Marky Fresh.
It's the best, isn't it?
Dude, I get cut there like every 3 weeks. My kid gets cut there every month
Every
and a
now and
half or
then.
so. Month and a half, 2 months, something like that. They do such a good job.
The environment is phenomenal. Everybody's awesome there.
Can I tell you a secret? I don't
Please.
even give a shit about the haircut. It is so much freaking fun going there.
Just to hang out.
Yeah. I have such
Just have a good time. Every time, man.
Yeah.
You
But-
get caught.
They
If you want
do.
to be in there, they're fast.
Oh, yeah.
Their whole app, everything,
Oh,
booking to get in,
so
it's so
easy.
convenient and easy, but you get caught up
Oh, yeah.
because you just want to hang out and talk with these guys.
You know what the word is? Shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
So many shenanigans.
You don't want to leave.
It's so much fun. But honestly, they do a fantastic job.
They really do.
I look way better when I leave than when I
You
get in there.
really do.
I know.
So, yeah, Marky Fresh.
Yeah, book at markyfresh.com.
Book, get in, stay fresh.
What's up, guys? Been a while. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of The Talking Dads. Just me and Steve starting it off. Episode 1 of the new season, season 2, episode 101 total. But yeah, we talked about what we did over the summer, stuff with our kids. Stevie had a new baby, so that was awesome. Congrats, buddy. But yeah, we had a really good time talking about what we were doing and, more importantly, what we will be doing for this season coming up. We have tons in store, lots of new stuff going on. It's going to be a great time, lots of fun. So please do us a favor and tell all your friends either that used to listen or maybe don't know about us at all, so we can get this thing going again. Leave us some reviews. Give us some suggestions on what you want to hear from us. And we'll go from there. Thanks so much. We love you, and you'll be hearing from us. Peace.
In a world where moms continue to dominate parenting authority and a father's role is minimized in society, 2 dads take on the toughest parenting topics on a weekly basis, all while drinking bourbon. They are the Talking Dads.
Yeah.
But we are back in the studio.
We're fucking back.
Oh my God, we're back. Feels good to be
Dude.
back. Guess what? Wait, what is this? Season 2. Yes, starting season 2 tonight.
Episode
101?
101.
Weird. 101
I
Dalmatians.
feel like we made it.
We're big time, man. Listen, 101 episodes, and we're on a second season, which technically, I mean, we should probably be like on our 4th or something
Yeah,
like that.
right.
But season 2
Yeah.
starts here tonight. We are back in the studio, and it feels amazing. I'm happy. I'm
feel-
excited.
I feel I'm on cloud 9 right now, dude.
Same.
And like, I gotta be honest with you. The last couple months were pretty nice. Like,
We're doing this again next summer.
oh yeah.
I don't think we
Might
have a
take a winter
choice.
break too.
Winter breaks are cool. Maybe a holiday break or something.
Yeah.
Dude, we're going 100% 100 miles an hour for a while,
Here's the thing, is
which was cool. We did
It
it.
was awesome,
We did it.
and I would do it again. I will say this is, I really enjoyed having the time off. I spent a lot of time with my kids at night,
Yeah.
which is, look, we have a freaking show about parenting and dadding and all that kind of stuff, and it feels
But,
like
yeah.
kind of weird to like say that I haven't been doing that. But in all reality, there was a lot of Friday and Saturday nights where it was like, all right, peace. Like, we got shit to do. We got to
Yeah.
go talk about being great dads.
Yeah. But we're leaving you hanging. Bye, guys.
And that's not to say that, there's not so many positives to doing the show. Like, I'm so happy to have like my therapy back.
I'll be honest. I missed it a lot.
Yeah.
I've talked about this
I mean,
with Liz.
it's not like we didn't talk to each other. So
No,
we at
but
least
it's
had that, but
it's the difference in sitting down for an hour or two,
Yes.
or 3 or whatever it may be, and just talking,
right.
and that's important.
Totally agree. I'm so excited to do that and just like get shit out.
Yeah, because I've had this conversation before. Men don't typically have those types of conversations. Like we
Right.
talk, but it's usually like we're together, like say at a birthday party,
Yeah.
right? So we're hanging out. We
Right.
start a conversation, but then here
Yeah.
comes the kids.
Yep.
Pulls you away from that conversation. That conversation's over.
Right.
It's like to sit down and actually have a conversation for an hour or more. You don't get to do that.
I mean, remember, that's exactly why we started this.
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
Right. Like there was no like,
We weren't sure how it was going to go,
no.
but it turned out to be therapy.
Yeah.
And everybody we've had on the show has been like, dude, I feel amazing after
Yeah.
that. That was like something I need to do all the time.
100%.
We get to.
Right. Right. And
So-
I'm so
And
excited.
I have
to get
missed
back.
it. To go back to what we were saying, I've missed our therapy or just hanging out and drinking some good bourbon.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been months.
Yeah. And I had a great summer.
Summer was great.
We're gonna go into that in a minute here, but
It's over.
it's over.
School starts Monday.
Yeah.
Did the orientation.
Mm-hmm.
Did the Zoom? Did you do a Zoom call too? Did you guys have to do that?
So Chelsea did it. We had ours Thursday. I had football with Gibbs.
Okay.
But thankfully, his Sloan's teacher is same teacher that Gibbs had for junior K. So
Miss Sicker?
no, Miss Rusnick.
Oh, for some reason I thought they had the same teacher.
No.
Well, your kids have the same teacher, yeah.
Yeah. So I did not do the Zoom orientation, but I did go to the school with her on Friday and
Yeah.
do her like walk around orientation.
Yeah, I didn't do that one. Liz did that, and I did the Zoom thing,
Yeah.
which was great. Kids are excited. It's gonna be good. I can't. Here's where I had the tough part. I'm like, all summer, Liz was home,
Mm-hmm.
which was unbelievable.
Right.
I told her, I'm like, maybe we should try to take every summer off because it was
Right.
so easy to come home and she's there. I don't have to run around to pick
Wait.
kids up.
Hold on. We ended season 1 before Jack was born.
We did.
So officially, congrats.
Thanks, man.
I was like, wait, Liz was home. I'm like, oh yeah, she's on maternity leave.
Yeah, and that ends on
That-
Tuesday.
Ooh.
So back to
So
school.
it's like all at once.
all at once, man. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I told her, I'm like, for me, it's gonna
We're
be
starting the podcast.
it's gonna be chaos for me, man. So I have 3 kids, and I'm like, okay, I got Ben's at one school, Sam's at another,
Yep.
and then Jack's gonna be at the daycare. So
Yeah.
I'm like, my pickups on
Oh yeah.
Tuesdays and Thursdays and every other Friday, it's gonna be like, it's fucking crazy.
So I'm super excited because both my kids are going to be in the same school.
Yeah, so you're complete opposite of me right now. My life has just become so much more difficult. And I'm like, and then twice a week now I'll be solo.
Oh yeah.
Oh, 3 nights. Every other week. But I'll be solo with all 3 kids. So that's gonna be new for me. This is gonna be the first time.
dadding it again,
Oh,
man.
my God.
I mean, you did it with 2.
Yeah, I did. And I'll figure it out. Like we do everything with parenting, right?
Right.
It's like you figure out, you start one thing, you dump the next and move on to the next thing and
Dude,
figure it
that's
out.
crazy though. The last time we were podcasting, you only had 2 kids.
Yeah, now I have 3. And It's different, but I'm getting the hang of it.
Yeah.
I just, the chaos of this upcoming week is like
Sure.
going to be crazy. Getting into the swing of things. And once we do, it'll be fine. But I think the other thing I was thinking was when I would go to work all summer, I was like, I'd wake up. I didn't have to deal with anybody.
Right.
The kids were still sleeping. I'm like, all right, peace. See you guys when I get home.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be, we got to get ready for school.
Yeah.
You get dressed. You get dressed. I got to make breakfast. And I have to be at work. And Liz is like, I got to go drop the kids off. And it's going to be fucking chaos.
You'll get in a routine.
But we'll be all right. It's just the starting.
Oh, yeah.
Like tomorrow night, like I haven't, like Sunday scaries are going to be real again.
Oh, yeah.
It's more stressful than work.
100%.
It really is,
100%.
man. Like, who's taking who, where? Like, I have to go take Sam to school. You're going to take Ben? Okay.
Well, especially in the beginning of the year or beginning of a change season, whatever it is that like something's different. Like me and Chelsea were talking today. So we went to Costco today.
Oh.
We loaded up on like lunch stuff, and like I was trying not to be negative about it because I was like, all right, so you're telling me that tomorrow we're going to spend all day meal prepping.
Yeah.
And like making sure everything's ready. I'm like 2 weeks in, we're gonna be doing what we always do and like throwing a lunch together at
Oh, yeah.
5 o'clock.
I want to
in
wake
the
up. I'll be
morning.
waking up to make lunch and then the kids are up. Let's get breakfast. Get your ass in your school clothes now.
Exactly.
Why are you not dressed? I don't understand. I find
How
it
do you
weird.
not have pants on?
I find it weird that you're not dressed after I told you 6 times to get dressed. Like, we expect the kids to go from like, yeah, I'm just going to watch TV
Right,
while we were eating
right.
breakfast and just hang out for the rest of the day. To,
Right.
we got to be out of the house in 2 minutes.
Right,
Like,
right.
It's going to be freaking chaos.
Oh yeah.
man. So, yeah, we have that going for us, which is nice.
But
so, summer's over.
Everyone's doing it, right?
Oh, yeah,
Everyone's
everything's going
going
to
through
be,
that. No one's
it's all chaos, but it's controlled chaos. We'll figure it out. We work better under pressure.
100%.
Everything we do with this in our lives is just chaos, and we figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, that's literally the
what
definition
better
of
way to
parenting.
do it than going back to school and starting the podcast at the exact same time?
I mean, we couldn't have planned it any better.
It's like going back to school, like, it's summer break. Let's take a break from the podcast for a little while. Let's go have some fun and enjoy things for a little bit. And then it's like, let's get back into it. 100 miles an hour. Let's go.
Yeah.
Boom. Jump right back into it.
You know what though? Honestly,
Tuck and roll.
like we're making fun of that, but honestly, that's literally the only way to do it.
Hey, man, we had a summer break.
Yeah, because can you imagine if like we were going to start back in like 2 or 3 weeks? We're already going to be burnt out from like the stress of getting school started again, and all that
yeah,
kind
it
of
would've
stuff. Be like, maybe we'll just like hold off another couple weeks,
And then we would have been screwed.
and then it would be like, well, maybe after the holidays. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
we just kept pushing
just
back.
gotta do it,
It was
It's
tough,
gonna be
and
good
it was
for us.
tough enough to get started doing this.
dude. It was.
Because for what was this back in like July? We're like, all right,
Yeah.
middle of July.
Yeah,
we're like, let's meet up every Friday until we start.
Yeah.
we met up twice.
Yeah.
We hung out and we talked
Yeah.
about it. So I mean, it's not like we weren't talking about it,
Right.
but it was just like
Oh, we
something
played-
came up.
dude.
Something
all right,
came up.
So full disclosure, we're like, all right, we're gonna take the summer off. We're gonna redo the website. We're gonna,
We're gonna make this
get this together.
awesome
We're gonna get
video.
that together. Yeah, we're gonna have all these like trailers, and and then we're like, let's just do it. Let's just get going because
What better way?
we enjoyed our summers,
As
Right.
we should have.
and not that like last summer sucked. Actually, last summer did suck, but it was
Did
COVID.
suck. It sucked.
It was COVID,
Which is a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, I literally don't want to talk about COVID.
I don't because I'm so fucking. Because even this time last year we were sick of it.
Yeah, yeah.
And now here we go again.
Dude, this time last year, well, we got back in studio what, like May, June? I want
yeah,
to say.
yeah. It was May.
Yeah.
It was with Tommy, right? But whatever. And then we were dealing with the crap, and then we're like, oh, that's good. We're done with it.
Right.
And then boom, here comes September.
Yeah.
Here we go. And we might see that again.
Yeah.
And we might not. But
But
that's neither here nor there.
dude, talk to me about your like not parenting, not podcast stuff, like your summer. How did you enjoy yourself?
What did I do to enjoy myself?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just here's the deal. This summer was. I said this last year all the time. I said, you know what? I could get used to this, the way that the COVID life is, as far as there was nothing going on.
Right.
Weddings were like postponed.
Yep.
Nothing was open. And there was no parties. Like we were like, oh, it's kind of cool to not have any plans. I don't have my weekends booked.
Right.
It's kind of like, we're free to not have anything going on, like just do whatever you want. But then like this year was like, boom, we had something going on every weekend.
Right.
And I loved it. To be back to normal life as
Right.
far as going to birthday parties every weekend. We had weddings. We had a few weddings we went to this year. Like we had plans to just go meet up with friends and family at like the beach or like a park. Like those kind of things, like getting back into it and having our weekends completely booked was awesome. Because I wasn't struggling to find something to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's those nights where you're kind of sitting at home and you're like, I don't want to just sit here. Let's go do something. We
Right.
had plans. Like we
Yeah.
had stuff to do and it was great. So, I mean, not to say that we didn't have those nights where like, I don't want to sit in here. Let's go
Sure.
for a walk. Let's go to the park. Let's go here. Let's go there. And I love doing that stuff. That's pretty much what we did. Like we went to a lot of parks, spent a lot of time at your new house.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the patio this year in the backyard at my house. Had a few good pours back there. So I mean, that's what I did to enjoy myself.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff with the kids. Everything was like all about the kids,
Well,
obviously.
you
which
guys
is,
were adjusting too to having a third kid.
yeah. And you know what? You know how I was about the whole third kid thing going into it.
Right.
My stress level was like,
Sure.
because it's nuts, man. Like
it should be.
I was 3 years out from it.
Right.
Like I completely forgot about, and I was just getting used to having the two kids, and it was simple. Everything was easy. And then here comes Jack. It's like, oh shit, man. Like I'm waking up every 2 hours. Sleep's not there. But and 100% credit goes to Liz. Moms are amazing. She's a superhero. That she's like, the kid makes a noise and she's up getting, like, I'll wake up and I'll like, I stroll out of the bed. I'm like walking towards the hallway. And as soon as I get to the hallway, she's coming towards me with a bottle to feed him. I'm like, you're already up. Holy shit. Like, I'm sorry. I just go back to sleep. She's like, well, you have to work tomorrow. So,
Yeah.
But she took care of majority of it. I give her all the credit in the world. She did majority of the work. But we adjusted quickly. Everything's going fine. The kid is amazing. He's the most chill baby. The kid he chills. Like he's quiet. He doesn't cry much unless he's hungry.
Yeah.
That's about it, man. The kid just hangs out and he's happy. He's smiling all the time.
It's good.
So, yeah, we had a good summer. Life was good. We had T-ball and whatever else going on. Like I said, parties, weddings, family get-togethers, friend get-togethers. So, I know your summer was a little more chaotic. I know you had like camps, football, baseball.
Yeah, we had a bunch of camps. We had, we moved, which was chaotic.
Congratulations, by the way, officially,
Thank
because you did move into your house. That was after we left there.
Yeah. Well, we moved.
For like, it was the same week that Jack was born.
Birthday is
The 8th.
June 8th. We moved in on June 6th
Yeah.
or June 5th. Yeah. So, because it was all right there. Yeah. So, I mean, that was a lot to deal with. Again, like, I don't know if it's nearly as stressful as bringing home another kid.
It's all relative, man. Everybody stresses.
Stress. Just dealing with like unpacking boxes, and the big thing for us was like,
Excuse me.
all the stuff that we had ordered for the house. Like half of it's still not in.
Yeah, like the
So,
couch.
yeah, no couch. Like we didn't have a fridge for like 2 weeks. Like you know what I mean. So it's like kind of little things like that we were.
It's a weird
adjusting
time.
to.
It's a weird time for that kind of stuff. Like moving is like getting a house right now
Dude.
is insanity.
Even right. So scheduling movers was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Like luckily, I have a pretty close personal friend that has a moving company, and she hooked it up, and she was like, "We'll make it work."
Nice.
But just like all of that kind of stuff, and then I had to deal with the lawn, and I'm dealing. Walter is still 9 months old now.
You basically had a baby.
That's true, actually,
You forget how difficult puppies are.
dude.
Puppies suck.
He's still a nightmare,
He's getting
I
better,
love him to
man.
death.
He's a puppy.
but
Got to remind
requires
yourself.
so much attention.
You forget about it. It's like having a baby, though.
Yeah,
I think about how amazing Teddy is now. Like, I just let him out in the front yard.
Right.
I go inside and go, like, do the dishes, and I come back, and he's at the front door waiting to come back in. Like,
it's amazing.
in the front yard.
Yeah,
But I forget when he was a puppy,
right,
it sucked.
right.
I mean, like, you want to walk him constantly. You
Yep.
want to potty training.
Yep.
Getting them to chill the hell out because puppies have unlimited energy.
Dude.
They need constant exercise.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't have time for this shit, man.
Right.
And you're moving into a house. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so that's like having another baby. So
Right.
your new puppy, you did what we did. We got Teddy And then we had
right,
Sam 6
right,
months later.
Right.
You moved into a brand new house and had a puppy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. It was a lot.
that's a lot, man. That's stressful. It's a big
But
change.
You know what? I did get to enjoy so much of it. Like, I was able to, with the move and everything, be present for a ton of it,
Yeah.
which was good. You know,
Think about if we decided to keep the podcast going at that point. Honestly, you'd have to be like, hey, we can't do it tonight.
Right.
I'm moving into a house.
right.
I have to do this. I can't just leave Chelsea alone
Dude,
to unpack
we moved.
boxes.
It was like a solid, because so we had to move out of the apartment
Yeah.
and like clean that all up and get everything out of there and patch holes and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then move in, and then we had like, I don't know, 5 or 6 days to like get the apartment like back to normal.
Yep.
so we can get our
Make it look
deposit
good
back
after
and
you're
all
just
that.
destroying it with the kids.
So while we're doing that, we're trying to move in. And again, these are not problems that everyone doesn't have, and they're
No.
good problems to have. You know,
Stress is stress,
Great.
man.
but like it was a ton, man. Like there was a lot of nights where I was up till like 3 o'clock in the morning, like unpacking boxes and sweeping up stuff and cleaning, and you know, you know what too, and I don't know if everyone goes through this or not, but I hate moving stuff that I don't want to move.
Yeah.
So like, I guess what I mean
Like
by
boxes
that
of
is,
like random shit.
yeah, and I'm like, well, we just gotta throw it here for now.
Yeah. Because
like,
you,
no.
you store it away for
I'm
another
not
time.
putting anything in the garage. And then it's like, all right, she's like, all right, well, put it down in the basement. No, it's not going in the basement. 'Cause
Fine, put it in the
that's not
family
where it's
room.
gonna go. It's like there's nowhere to, like, the shit has to go somewhere.
Well, it has
right?
to, yeah.
So you know, a lot of that kind of stuff.
Well, I think
and-
you're like me, like, and this is different because now you have kids, so you have a ton more shit. But I remember moving into our house, and I'm like, Liz is like, okay, I'm going to bed, and all the boxes, there's a lot of stuff unpacked.
Yeah.
I'm like, not going to bed until everything's put away. I mean, I was up till 6 a.m.
Yeah.
putting everything away because I'm like, I'm not going to get comfortable in this house until
Right.
I have everything
Right.
in place. And at that time, we had nothing.
Right.
Think about
Isn't
that.
that
Like,
funny though? You look back on that. And
we
like,
had nothing.
You were stressing out over literally nothing.
I had like 6 boxes.
yeah.
I was looking for space to fill.
Well, and then didn't have to get up with the kids.
Didn't have to get up with the kids. Didn't have anything. We didn't have anything. It was Liz and I.
Yeah.
And no one was coming over to like hang out.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it was just, but I wanted to get it done. So I was
Sure.
just done with it. And now I'm like, I could put my feet up and watch TV.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think you're kind of like me in that,
Yeah,
like, you just want to get it all done.
Yeah,
Because like when you
yeah.
move in, you don't want to sit there and be like, let's unpack for 6 days.
Right. Which we still, I mean, we unpacked for like 2 weeks.
I know, but it's
like,
because now you have
I was like, all right, well, I have to get some sleep.
unlimited shit. Did you throw a lot of stuff out, or did you just?
So much stuff.
That's the time to do it though, because the kids aren't paying attention
Dude,
to
I
that.
donated 2 like full truckloads of clothes, like to Goodwill,
Yeah.
and I probably took at least 2 or 3 truckloads to like spread them out throughout the daycares of like toys and.
I was gonna
stuff
say,
like that.
coming soon to your daycares are toys for my house.
We always take them, bro. Kids love it.
I told Liz, I'm like, just start throwing stuff in bags,
Yeah.
especially now that the kids are in school.
Yeah.
Like, Liz, on your days
Yeah, they
off,
don't know.
start packing shit away. Because I tried doing that. The one night I'm going through like these toy baskets. You know, we have them under the TV. I'm sitting there with a garbage bag and I'm just throwing stuff out. Ben comes out of his room. I thought he was sleeping. He comes out of his room. And it's like 10 o'clock. He goes, hey, what are you doing with my stuff? And I'm like, what are you talking? I'm like, your stuff. I'm like, get out of here. I'm like, this is my stuff. I bought it, dude. Go to bed. Like, get out of here. Like, what are you doing with my stuff? I'm like, what are you, 15? Get out of here. Ben, like, that kid.
Oh, Ben.
In full disclosure, like, you know, the first season, like I sat here and talked about how Ben was like the biggest pain in the ass. He was a little asshole and all that stuff. That kid has become the sweetest child.
He really is, and it makes me so angry.
Like, he's so quiet and
I
just
love
so
his attitude,
sweet.
and it's like gone.
He's still got
We're-
the attitude. It comes
I
out.
don't know, man.
It comes
Well,
out.
I haven't seen it much.
You should see him with like him and Sam, 2 brothers. Like, just
Yeah.
you know how that goes.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, these kids just go at each other
Dude,
constantly.
he was playing with Sloaney last night at the beach, and like they were just like running around and doing the slide and stuff like that. And then he started burying Sloan, but she was like, "Hey, bury my feet," you know,
Yeah.
whatever. And like I'm looking, I'm like, "Who are you, child? Like
Yeah,
you're
he be-
supposed to be like throwing sand.
Yeah,
at
you're supposed to
other
be, like-
kids' faces.
yeah,
and
just pushing kids out of the
laughing and
way.
leaving.
He's just so sweet. He's so passive now. He's
Yeah.
become like, he's got like observing his older brother
Yeah,
of just being passive and like Sam's sweet, but you don't see Sam at home. Sam at
know,
home
dude.
is like,
I don't know. When him and Gibbs get together,
well, they go at it,
yeah, they go at it.
but they
He does that like
they get violent. He hulks out
Yeah, the
sometimes.
Hulk out,
yeah. So he does have that. They both have that in them. But like Ben is just like this sweet little kid now, and it's like it's funny, like complete 180,
Yeah, I have noticed.
which is
that.
great.
Yeah.
But like I do miss his like his attitude of just being like, you know, push me
chocolate milk.
chocolate milk. Give me the chocolate. Okay, I forgot about that.
Well, that was Sam though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, man, summer was awesome though.
Yeah, that's right. Go back to your summer thing,
yeah,
like because I mean I know you had a busy summer. You had baseball,
Yeah, we had
basketball. Do you have basketball or no? It was
No,
football camp,
We did football
Baseball camp,
baseball camp,
science camp,
science camp.
adrenaline monkey.
Yeah.
There's something else in there probably. Because we had summer camp. Like Sam and Gibbs did summer camp for a little
Yeah.
bit.
No, those were the camps. But like on top of all that, like mostly, I don't know, due to staffing shortages and
Your work schedule was
ridiculousness,
crazy though.
It's insane.
You had a rough summer with that.
Yeah. But mostly Gibbs stayed with me
Yeah.
because of ratios and things like that. I was like, all right, well, I'm going to need a whole nother teacher just for my kid. Like, that doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense. So he stayed with me, and I put him to work a little bit, and he was, you know, trying to do schoolwork and stuff like that. But for like a solid, I don't know, month, 6 weeks now, he's been with me every single day, which has been awesome.
That's
Like,
great. Yeah.
we've-
If you could do it, that's awesome.
It's been great. And so, like, we'll go to whichever center we're going to that day, and I get him set up, and, you know, he kind of does some work for me, and it's been a lot of fun. But it's just that much more to deal with, right? Like,
well, you're not going to work and just working.
right.
You had a kid with you, so you're like, okay, I gotta
Yeah.
make sure that he's taken care of and he's staying busy and not like sitting
Right.
next to you like, Dad, I'm bored.
Right.
What are we gonna
Right.
do? I need
Right.
this. I need that. It's like, damn. So you got to find shit for him to do. Like, well, that's good though. For like, you had work for him to do.
Yeah, I mean, it took me a few weeks to get in that groove of having like his summer workbook, and you know, I'd let him bring his Switch, and we'd you know, cycle off times of, you know, 20 minutes of schoolwork, and then you get 10 minutes of play, or, you know, whatever.
I thought you were gonna say cycling off time, like he was playing like some levels on Mario, and
Oh,
then like
then
you
I
would,
would
and then
play.
you would switch, like, all right, get on the laptop and start doing this. You got to figure out the schedule for next week. I got to beat a few levels real quick.
So good.
I mean, which all that sounds amazing. I could get into
But yeah,
that.
no, I mean, like I didn't really think about this until just now, but I got to spend a ton of time with just him,
Yeah.
which I haven't gotten to do. I mean, when he was a 2-year-old, maybe,
Oh, yeah.
but
You had more time to do
like
it
we
this
got
summer.
into a lot of like really cool. Like we talked a lot about football, and we talked a lot about baseball, and we actually got into like audiobooks.
Yeah, you were telling me about the what's that one? I was Chicka Boom
Oh,
or Chicka Chicka Boom Boom or
Chicka. Yeah,
is that what it is?
it is. It's
I was thinking about Chicka Boom 35 with Marquetta Jewel.
we've been into something else since then, but Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Yeah. Yeah, you know.
Chicka Chicka Boom.
Yeah, so the Chitty Chitty Bang Bangs are awesome.
Yeah, we listened to a few because you got me into that.
Yeah.
So,
And now we're on The Last Kids on Earth.
ooh,
And it's like a zombie story.
yeah,
like zombie
that's like a show or a movie on Netflix.
Oh, is it really?
I haven't watched it, but I know it's out there.
Oh, I might have to check that out then, because the books are awesome.
Yeah,
And they're very kid oriented, but they're fun, and like I'm into them.
yeah. Like we were listening to that Chitty
almost
Chitty
like The
Bang Bang
Walking
thing.
Dead.
Yeah, with the kids.
But with kids, yeah.
Like we listened that one day we went to Swenson's after the Browns practicing.
Yeah.
We were listening to that in your car, and
Yeah.
I was like, "This is perfect for kids," because the narrator or whoever's reading the book is amazing with the
So
voices
good.
and everything.
Yep.
It's very animated, and it's
Yeah.
like, dude, it was amazing. I was because we were sitting there, you had your window down, and we were blasting it, and like Sam and Gibbs are in the back seat, and I'm like, I wonder what the people around us are thinking, because that guy's voices are so like over the top. I mean, in a
Right,
good way.
They are, yeah.
It's perfect for kids, and but I was cracking up. But I mean, that's awesome though. The audiobooks for kids, phenomenal.
I don't know, like, so I think just from him being with me all day, every day, and I spent a lot of time in my truck,
Yeah.
right?
So you're
Going
listening,
from
you
campus
listening to
to
something
campus.
besides music.
And it was like,
for a long time, it was the same song over and over and over again.
Was it
And-
I'm All the Way Up? Because we listened to that on repeat
Yeah,
for like
he-
the whole ride of the
he
Browns
does-
game.
He does love that one. But I mean, it changes, right? Like it's one day or for a couple days in a row.
We got some fans. She fake flashed us. There we go.
Nice.
Pretty
We're
typical. We are back. It's official.
But no, like, it would be music, and it would, if Sloan's in the car and we have to do like this unicorn song, I couldn't handle it. Like, it was one thing when it was like just to daycare and back, or just to school and back. Okay, I'm done. Like, I can handle 20 minutes of it. But when he's with me all day for 9-10 hours going around different centers, it just wasn't happening.
Yeah,
So
it's a lot.
We got into podcasts a little bit, and there were some good podcasts that we listened to.
Yeah.
But then like we got caught up. I was like, so I
find
was
something
trying
else.
a bunch of different ones, and I couldn't find anything. So finally, we went on Audible, and there's like all these free audiobooks that are for kids. And I was like, oh shit! Like, all right, let's try them out. And we found a couple that worked, and I don't know, it's been really cool.
Audible's great, man. Like you don't think about it. Like you're like, oh, I gotta wait for my credit to get whatever book it is.
Right.
There's so much free stuff on there
There
too,
really
like that's
is.
included with
Yeah.
Prime or whatever, and it's great. Or with the membership.
Well, and I'll say this, it's really cool. I don't want to call it a book club, but like him and I, after, or like sometimes he'll be like, hey, Dad, pause it.
Yeah,
And so we'll pause it and we'll talk about what just happened.
that's great.
And like, and again, I'm kind of just realizing this as we're talking about it, which is why I love doing this.
This is amazing.
But like,
You start to realize things.
we like had pretty deep conversations about, all right, what does it mean? Like the other day he asked me what a flamethrower was,
Okay,
because in the zombie one, like the kid
talking about using a flamethrower.
made a flamethrower, right?
Yeah.
And like, I had to like explain to him, and actually I think at some point I was like, you need to talk to your Uncle Steve about fire.
buddy.
No, I guess though, like there's multiple times where he's like, Dad, can you pause it real quick? And every time I think he's gonna say like, can we go get McDonald's or
Yeah,
whatever.
poop.
But poop. But no, it's usually he wants to know about something, and so like, number one, I'm happy that he's actively listening and his imagination's going, and he's trying to understand what's going on in the story.
Yeah.
And then number two, just like having the conversation with him and bonding over this show is pretty great.
So number one, like going back to like you said, like you have that one-on-one time with them. Like the cool thing about going out with just one of them is amazing. Like I would do that with both of them, like Sam and Ben. Like
Right.
obviously with Jack, he's not having a conversation with me. But when you could have that one-on-one time where they have your full attention,
Right.
like when Sam requires a lot of attention. That's just how he is.
Kids.
He needs constant stimulation. He's not the type to like I can hand Ben a iPad
Right.
and he's just gone.
Yeah, that's how Sloan
Sam is like he gets the iPad, he's messed around with it for a little bit, and he's like, I want to go.
Kids, man.
I want to go do this. He's very cerebral. Like he's a deep thinker, and his mind's always going, and he has lots of questions. So when I have that time to go take him somewhere, just the two of us, like he could sit there and have those. We could have a actual conversation.
Right. Well, and
Where-
he's older, right?
Yeah,
Like,
he's
I
older
think
too.
that's
I
part
think
of it.
that's another thing too is we don't realize that they're getting older,
Right.
Which
They're
is insane.
6 years old. you know,
Exactly, and it's like
Sam's
that
gonna
went
be
by in
6
2
soon.
seconds. Like,
Yeah.
but these conversations you have with them now, and it's like you could actually sit there and full attention's on them. And I think that's very important. Like for every kid, like you need to have those days where you're like, hey, I'm gonna go take Ben, or I'm gonna go take Sloan, or I'm gonna take Gibson, or I'm gonna take Sam. You know, like you have that time where you can spend just with them, and they have your full attention, and that's amazing. Also, to go to back to what you said about audiobooks. So when I was young, my dad used to take us everywhere. Like we did like weekend adventures. Like my dad was like, we had him every other week. He had us every other weekend. So like we would do like a Saturday night, we were with him, and he would take us for a car ride in the big ass white van.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we'd be in our pajamas, and he would take us out there, and he could play audiobooks like on tape.
Oh, yeah.
And we would go drive to like the Steel Yards out in Cleveland, which was amazing. But like the cool thing about audiobooks, and I'm kind of thinking about this now because I
Right.
wouldn't have thought about this otherwise. But you sit there and your imagination just goes. Like you have the audiobook, so the guy's reading it, and in your mind, you're picturing what's going on. So you're painting your own picture.
Yep.
That's what's so cool about audiobooks.
Oh, 100%.
Especially for kids. Like their imaginations are going wild all the time. But for them to sit there and have somebody tell them the story so they could just paint it in their mind and just picture it themselves, that's really cool.
Well, and I think like the added component to that is for an audiobook, you're listening to it at the same time as him.
Yeah. So you can have that
versus,
conversation.
Like you read a book and then I read a book and then we compare how we
interpret
interpret it. We're experiencing it together at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's not even like I'm concentrating on reading it. Like, so like you said, like somebody's doing some character voices. And so it's more interactive or more of a colorful picture, I guess, of the entire story that we're getting the same interpretation. And so it's interesting to me to see how his mind works versus how mine does.
Yeah.
Based
As an
off
adult,
of, I just know
against the
more
kids.
words than him.
Exactly.
Right?
So it's like, hey, what does this word mean?
Right.
And isn't it funny though? Like these kids watch their videos and they listen to their stories and whatever else. And then they're talking just like an everyday conversation and they say something in context and you're like, okay, wow, amazing.
Yeah.
I'm blown away by that all the time.
Oh,
With
yeah.
the stuff that Sam says to me sometimes, like, where the hell did you even hear that from?
Right.
Like, where did you even get that from? I'm like, I don't even say that. Like, but it's the stuff that they're seeing on their TV shows and what have you. So I don't know. It's all pretty cool. Like our summers sound like pretty similar. I mean, we hung out quite a bit, but we had a lot of other stuff going on.
Yeah.
But it's cool to like come back to this and actually talk about it.
Oh yeah.
Because we could reflect on everything, and it's like you can sit back and talk about it, and it's some great times this summer, man.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy to be like, oh, we're going back to school. Summer's over. It's already the end of August. We're about to go into September here soon.
It's crazy.
Outing season.
Oh yeah, it is.
So we got that going for us, which is nice. Starting next week, right?
The week after next, yeah.
No, we have one next weekend.
Yes, next weekend. Yeah, you're right.
And then the Friday after.
Yeah.
So I'm pumped.
Right.
So we have Ben's Heart Walk.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah. So the other thing over the summer, you and I both, along with a couple other gentlemen, really focused on some health and fitness and wellness.
It's a great conversation topic. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
You lost how much? 50.
Officially 51. Oh, it was actually like 57.
I was gonna say it was like 57.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you're on camera right now. You look great on camera right now. You're not filling out the screen. I'm just kidding. I'm joking, man. I'm joking. Yeah, you look great though, man.
Thank
you
you.
I mean, speeding. Jesus, it's a neighborhood.
Families around
There's
here.
kids out here, dude. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, dude. Like
Amazing.
balls to the wall.
I'll say this. Like, I didn't lose a ton of weight, but I got into shape.
You did, dude. You look great.
Thank you.
You're
I feel good. I feel. And,
Seps.
thanks, bro. Your seps. Constantly working on the seps. But no, I mean, like, feel good. Like, we have so what we did was, to tell you what's going on, because you don't know, we had a little group, and it started with, what was that thing we did? It was called,
here's what happened.
what was that called, though? It was,
biohacking.
biohacking. So we did the biohacking thing, and it was me, you, James, and Billy.
Yeah.
And we hung out here for what? It was a Saturday and a Sunday?
It
or
was
just
just
a Saturday?
Saturday.
So we went out to dinner that night,
Mm-hmm.
and we talked about
Like accountability.
yeah, accountability. Kind of like that whole thing. That biohacking thing was like accountability, just improving your life in general, right? And we decided we're like, hey, let's do this. Let's challenge ourselves.
Right.
Let's get into shape.
Yeah.
Let's go on diets. We'll start because on the video it told us about fasting.
Yeah.
So on that walk, we're like, let's start doing some fasting, intermittent fasting,
Yeah.
right? So that was at the 16-hour. Is that what we started with?
Yeah.
8 to noon?
Yeah. 8 hours on, 16 off.
So we all did it as a
Yeah.
group. So we started this text message, and we were like, just
Just kind of
holding ourselves accountable, right?
Yeah.
And we were just supporting each other and talking about it. And go ahead.
So like the biohacking conference aligned perfectly with the competition that I did.
It was perfect because you just started it, right around
I
then.
just started it, and I was like, "Oh, this sucks," and because
Kind of going into it solo.
I mean, and I went from literally eating like 6,000 calories a day and doing no physical activity
And just jumping right into it.
to the complete opposite, right? And like, I was like, man, like this is crazy. And all of you guys just like kind of organically were like, dude, you can do this.
Yeah.
Like you're good. Like we'll figure this out.
We had that
And
support
we
group.
just like all came together and like, I mean, we talked about this not that long ago, but without that, I don't think I would have lost nearly the weight that I did.
No, we all have our Apple Watches. We could see what we're all doing. We're like, okay, hey
Forced
man.
Billy to get one.
Yeah, we forced Billy to get one, and now he's the happiest guy. He
Yeah.
loves it.
Oh yeah.
He was so against it.
Oh yeah.
But you're like, hey, dude, your rings aren't closed. Like,
Right.
get your ass moving. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, shit. And the great thing is, like, I had all the excuses in the world this summer.
Yeah. We all did.
Think about this. You moving into a new house. You get a puppy.
Yep.
I have a baby. It's like, and before that, I was working out. I was waking up at 4:30 every day and going to the gym.
Yeah.
Or doing some type of something to better myself as far like stretching or whatever it might
Right.
be. And it went to, I have a baby. I'm not getting the sleep I was getting. But now I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to the gym at 9 or 10 o'clock at night.
Even back before that, though, like I mean, I don't know. You can blame the podcast, whatever. Is like COVID. I know I put on a ton of weight during COVID.
Dude, I was almost up to 200 pounds at one point.
I mean, I was supporting local restaurants by eating
we
out
were, though.
every
We talked
single
about that all the
night.
time, though.
Yeah,
Think about that. Like,
literally
prior to the break, we were like, we were eating out every night.
every night. Dude, think about this. We would come in here when we got to come back in here. So this was last summer.
Yeah.
We would get here early, set up, we'd order a pizza,
Yep.
and then we would do our show, and then a lot of times like go hit up Barrio or like
Do
whatever.
something. Like, yeah, like I'm going to hit up Sheets on the way home. I'm going to
Yeah.
go do this. Like, and go home and snack.
Yeah.
Go home and eat. And I was like, shit, dude, like I'll just not eat. I don't need anything.
Right.
You get into that mode where it's like, okay, well, I'm just going to go to bed and then I'll eat at noon tomorrow.
Right.
And it worked. It was amazing. And we had that group that, and when was biohacking?
May 8th.
So think about this. May 8th till today, we text each other in that group every single day.
All day.
James texts first thing in the morning. He's up at like
Dude,
4.
I wake up at 4:10
And you already have text messages.
and I have multiple text messages from James saying, "Get up, get going."
Yeah, it's like motivation.
I got my shit
I'm
done.
sending you guys the motivational speech, like the
Yeah,
motivational
yeah,
quotes.
Yep.
And we're just on top of each other right away. Like, hey, this is my weight today. Get up, get moving, kick ass today, guys.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
hey, good job last night doing this,
Yeah.
doing your workout. Like, the watch is amazing
Yeah.
because like I'll finish a workout at like 10:30 or 11,
Yeah.
and I get a message from Bill like,
Yeah.
keep
right.
it going. You know, like, dude, like, because I know that you're going to bed earlier now.
Yeah, I'm going to bed at like.
So I'm going to
9:30,
bed later
10
now,
o'clock.
but I'm working out at night.
Right.
So my schedule's completely
You gotta
shifted.
figure out what
After
works.
the baby,
Right.
I had to change it.
Yeah.
Which is fine. It works for me. I'm like, the kids get to bed and I'm like, hey, babe, I'm going to the gym. I'm going to go work out. Or I'm going to do something at home. But I'm like, but with a text message, if it wasn't for that, I'm like, fuck it, man. I'm going to stay up
Dude.
till midnight. I'm going to watch a movie. And I'm not going to do anything.
Dude, perfect example. I remember. It was the day before the weigh-in for the final thing for this competition, and I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go for a run in the morning. If any of you guys want to join me, blah blah blah, And I think you guys were going out. You guys were going somewhere, and James was like, "Hey, I have this going."
Oh,
on."
yeah, we had to go
And
somewhere. I forgot what I was
Billy's
doing.
like,
I had a
"Hey,
wedding.
I'll be there."
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, sweet. I woke up in the morning and I honestly felt like shit. I was kind of dehydrated because I was cutting. water weight.
We met the night before.
Yeah, oh,
and I
that's
was,
right.
because
Yeah,
remember we were
yeah.
hanging out here and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, no offense. Because I just got back from working out.
That's right.
And I come in here and I'm all sweaty. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're. Just
I'm gonna
chugging
have
water.
I'm gonna have to have a bottle of water. You're like, cool, man. Like, cause like, you're like, I gotta dry out. I have to be ready for my weigh-in.
Right, and I woke up and I didn't feel good,
Oh yeah,
and like I knew that I wasn't going to feel.
you're
good.
malnourished. You're
Right.
dehydrated. And you're like, I gotta go for 2 to 3 mile run.
Yeah, and so I got up in the morning. I'm like, I put it on the text. I'm like, fuck it, guys, I'm out. And I like went back to sleep. And I woke up like, I don't know, 15 minutes later, and Billy, it was on there, was like, hey, fucker, I'm already on my way. Like,
Yeah. Get moving.
get up. I'm like, all right, you're right. And he did, man. He rode his bike, and I ended up running like 3.5, 4 miles, something like that.
Yeah, and he rode his bike with
Sweat
you.
out like 8 more pounds. Like,
Nick and
it was
Rocky, dude.
ridiculous. Yeah,
like,
it was awesome.
It was great. Like that.
But,
And
like-
without that group, we're not doing it.
No, 100%.
I'm calling it quits when the baby's born. I'm like, I have a perfect excuse in the world.
Sure.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna be lazy. But like, dude, how much healthier are we right now?
You know what's messed up? Or it's not messed up. It's completely normal and accurate and makes so much sense. But, so, obviously, I've had this, like, not obviously. Obvious to
Yeah,
you.
obvious to me because we talked about it.
I got this, like, thing in my side going right now.
Yeah.
I can't tell if it's a gas pocket or if it's
A
a
torn
strained
muscle.
or whatever. So, finally, yesterday, I finally went to the urgent care.
Yeah.
And the only reason I went, because normally that's something that I would just let figure itself out, right? But I'm pissed off that I haven't been able to work out.
Yeah, you're not closing your
Right.
rings. You had like a 90-day freaking streak.
94-day streak. But so I went, and I was like, you know what? At worst, I'm gonna get my vitals checked just to compare to see
Yeah.
how they were.
Just to make sure, because 5 years ago you were ideal. So why check again anytime after that?
All right, I have a beef with that, by the way, because that's what they said.
Yeah, you're
But
good.
I'm looking at my chart, you know, you can like look at your old
Yeah.
stuff, and like my shit was not ideal. So like my blood pressure went from like 150 over, I don't know what it was, 150 over like 88 or something, or
Yeah,
90 or something like that, to was it 98 over, no, 102,
102.
over 58.
Amazing.
Which is like, she was like, oh, it's actually on the borderline of low.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's great. She's like, yeah, keep it right there. So like, and that's in 3.5 months of making a lifestyle change.
Taking care of yourself.
It's crazy.
Okay, so we like to eat.
Yeah.
We like food.
Yeah.
We appreciate good food. You can still do that,
Oh yeah.
but not every
haven't-
day.
Dude, the crazy thing is aside from the 2 weeks prior to the final weigh-in, where is like the only time that I actually dieted. And
It was the fasting.
the fasting was huge.
Yeah.
And I'm calling it the
Well, plus,
The-
not to
the
mention you were doing
savage
some
effect.
working out like crazy.
tons.
Yeah.
Tons. But it's like the savage effect. Like, okay, I can eat pizza, but I don't have to eat a pizza.
Yes, you can still eat good food.
I can eat 2 or 3 pieces and be just fine.
It's the portion control.
It's, you know, like tonight even, like we were at a party and my sister-in-law was like gushing. She was just like so happy, like so incredibly happy, because I went and got my plate of food and I got a bunch of salad, a bunch of fruit, and like some meatballs.
Yeah.
She goes, Ian, your plate is like 90% like
Food.
plant-based
Like real
food.
Yeah.
I was like, well, it's just like how I'm eating now. And
But
like,
the thing is, like, when you eat like we used to, you feel like shit.
she goes, a year ago, you would have had, your whole plate would have been Cavatel's, and you would have had 12 meatballs on there and like 4 pieces of garlic bread.
Yeah.
And I just like didn't do that. Like, and it wasn't even the crazy thing is it wasn't even oh man, I'm really
Yeah, I'm trying to
depriving
diet
myself.
here. I have to make sure I get all the healthy
That's
stuff.
what I wanted.
Yeah. We went to a birthday party tonight, and I'm like, you got pizza, hot wings, hot dogs,
Yeah.
whatever. I'm like, all right, I'll get the salad. And I had a piece of pizza, one piece,
Yeah.
where I used to have 6,
Right.
and a hot dog, and some hot wings, and some cookies, and some
Right.
cake. Didn't eat cake. I mean, just because I feel after I
had
have
some
that,
cake tonight. Yeah.
after I'm done with the small portion of food that I had, I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
It's completely different.
And the other night we watched the Browns game, the preseason game.
Yeah, we had pizza and wings. But we didn't overindulge. We didn't like crush it. Like we didn't have.
I felt like I crushed it.
But that's the difference,
But
though.
here's the thing: between me, you, and Kevin, we ate 18 wings.
Dude, I had 3.
I think I had 4 or 5.
We used to be like, all right, 36 wings
Yeah.
between the two of us. We'd be like, easy, plus a pie,
Right.
and an Italian sub. think about P&Ps.
Oh yeah.
When we used to just hang out, be like, all right, so let's get 2 large pizzas, and and we each get a sub.
Oh yeah.
Crush all of it easily. Can't do it, but that's great because we've been doing so good with all that, and I think and James always talks about it, like, dude, we need to be here.
Yeah.
You want to be here for your kids.
Right.
That's the big picture. The big picture is you want to be alive.
And that dude's so good at like putting things into perspective.
So great.
Because here's the thing: is like I went into the competition thing solely based on, hey, like I can win $1,000.
Oh yeah, but that's how you started it.
Yeah.
But then at the end of it, you're like, there's the big picture. It's you want to be healthy, you want to be alive, you want to feel good.
But James especially, but like the whole group, but James especially is just like he has a way of putting it so seriously, but not in a weird way. I guess.
No, I mean,
like you said, like you need to be here for your kids.
Yeah.
You need to be here for your grandkids. You need to be, you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely. It was
And-
don't you want to be
right.
like? Fuck, my kids have a great grandma that's 99 years old. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna make 99. I mean, I want to,
yeah, you can.
but 99.
Yeah. You got them genes.
We just moved her into assistant living recently.
Yeah.
She has been on her own for 99 years.
It's amazing.
I mean, she was with my grandpa for a
Right.
while, but you know what I mean? Like, she's been living by herself.
Right.
And she's sharper than Grandma Sue. Like,
Grandma Sue's
she-
legit.
here's the deal. She fell 3 times in the like before they decided to move her into assistant living, and like I'm talking to her the one day I go over there and I'm like, hey, how you doing? She's like, it's a lot going on. She's like, I know that everybody wants to move me into assistant living. She goes, I'm ready for it. She's like, I know that it has to be done. She's like, I can't. I'm like, yeah, it's not safe for you anymore, Grandma. I'm like, you can't fall every night. Like, and
Right.
I mean, we have the thing on her, around her neck, like the life
alert.
alert. But
Yeah.
what it would do is it would call my dad directly. As soon,
Okay.
Like, so if she hit the button, it would call my dad. So he
Oh,
knew to
nice.
get there. So she fell the one night and calls my dad. My dad gets there and she's on the ground, stuck between her recliner and like a table, and she fell and smacked her head. And my dad gets there and there's a pool of blood around her. And I told her, I'm like, Grandma, think about this. Say you didn't have that around your neck. And my dad didn't get there till the next, because my dad's retired, so he goes and checks on her every day. I
Right.
check on her. I'm like, imagine if he didn't get that call and he showed up the following day at like noon.
Right.
You've been there for 14 hours
Right.
in a puddle of blood. Who knows how much blood you'd be losing.
Right.
You would have been gone. She's like, I know. She goes, so I know that it's time for me to go to assistant living. And she's completely fine with it. She's accepted it. She's moved 3 times in her life. This will be the 3rd move in her life. Think about that. 99 years. She moved from Japan to Cleveland to Willoughby. No, so yeah, Japan, Cleveland, Willoughby. So this will be her 4th move.
Fourth, yeah.
She's like, it's just it's tough. She's like, I lived here for the last 20 years or whatever, or 24 years, 25 years. She's like, I lived here with Grandpa. She's like, but I'm ready to go. And we moved her in and she loves it.
Yeah.
She's like very popular there.
I'm sure.
She's making friends like crazy. She goes, I don't know if I could do it though. She's like, I'm not that social. I'm like, Grandma, you have people. I come here to come check on you, and there's like 5 people lined up at your house to come hang out with you. Like,
Right.
people are always at her house. So it was tough, But going back to the original story is like, I would love to be here for my great grandkids.
Right.
Like she came over to my house for a cookout, and she sits down. It was her first time being out to our house or anything in
Right.
like over a year. And she gets there and she's like, give me that baby. So she got the whole jack. And I'm like,
that's awesome.
and not to be like get emotional and sappy, but like that's
Absolutely.
cool as hell. She's got to hold every single one of our kids.
That's
Like,
amazing.
me and my brother is like,
Yeah.
and like I was like, I don't know if she's gonna be able to hold Jack because she's 99. Like, she hasn't left her house. Like, she's
so
with
badass,
COVID and
though.
everything too. Like, it was like kind of
Sure.
it was nerve wracking. We don't want the kids to be around her, but she's like, give me that baby, So it's cool, man. That's what I would love to be. I would love to see my great grandkids. Think how
Yeah.
cool that would be.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know.
That's going back to what we were saying. Like, this group that we have going.
yeah.
The motivation we've both gotten from, like, the 4 of us have gotten, like,
Yeah.
Bill, dude, like, Bill is like, he got
really
sick for a
looks
little
great.
while, and he looks phenomenal. The guy is like, he's motivated. He's working out. Like, he's closing his rings. Like,
And he's so old too.
Bill's so old. I can't wait for him to hear this. But like, it's so cool, man. I love it. Like, just that's my favorite text message because like
It's great.
I just feel like, okay, accountability.
Yeah.
The other day, I was like, oh, I texted you guys. I'm like, I haven't done shit today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get out and get after it now. And it was like what, 10 o'clock at night,
Right.
and I did. I ended up closing everything out. And I did
Yeah.
it, and it was like, okay, I'll just go for. I went for like an hour and a half walk, and then I worked out at home, and like, I'm good. Rings closed. I'm good to go.
You know, it's one of those things where I think that we're both pretty social people to begin with, and it's so easy. Like, here's the thing: when we were younger, you and I used to work out all the time together.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it was fun. We got to talk and hang out and, whatever. Once you get married and have kids and all that kind of stuff,
All the
like,
excuses
it just
come on.
makes life very difficult, or not life very, it makes it very difficult to do things like that, right?
For sure.
And so by yourself, I mean, it kind of sucks going to work out by yourself.
Well, it does.
does.
And, but here's the deal. It's like now we don't have the time to be like, hey, meet you at the gym.
Yeah.
Because our schedules are exactly the same. So let's meet me at the gym at 6 in the morning. Let's go hang out. Like,
Right.
we can't do that anymore.
Just
So it's like,
doesn't happen.
but you got to find the time, and working out and having a workout partner, it's tough.
It is, but this is almost just as good because
It's the same thing because you
I know
have the
that when I
motivation.
finish my workout, you're going to get that notification.
Yep, and I'll
Bill's
send you something
gonna
back.
get that
Yep.
notification. James is going to get that notification, and it's like, okay,
Good job, man.
good job, dude.
And you're like, okay, did
Or
my
like,
job.
That's it. Ah, fuck. All right.
Yeah,
I guess I'll go do some more.
yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
You
Whatever.
don't. You're not satisfied,
Right.
and that's great because
Yeah, it's just awesome, dude.
I love it, man. It's the best thing that we've done.
It's amazing in a couple months. I mean, so that's the thing is like I can remember thinking that kind of too far gone at this point. Like, whatever, I'm just a bigger dude. That's who I am.
Easy to surrender.
So easy because it looks or feels like it's going to be insurmountable.
Well, you get to that point where you're like, I'm never gonna have this. I'm never gonna be able to look like this or lose this weight or
And then if you
diet.
look at like things or whatever, we're like, what's the secret? Well, the secret is there is no secret, and it just takes time. You got to be consistent, and that's true.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'll say is like 3 months is nothing.
Oh, I mean, sure, we're doing it, and it's how many times have you gone like we've done this? We're like, all right, let's do this, dude. Meet me at the gym. Let's start working out.
Right.
And then you get to that point where you're like, back to the normal shit.
Sure.
Back to living the way I was. Here, so I've been working out since. Here's when I started working out. I started working out after Business Mastery. That's when
right.
when I started waking up at 4:30 because that was like the
And that was
whole
in
Tony Robbins thing. Like it was
April?
like in April.
That was like a month and a half,
Yeah.
maybe or so before.
Before that, all that, and I'm like,
yeah.
but I got to that point where I'm like, okay, and I kept seeing, I knew Jack's birth date, like I knew, like
Yeah.
this is it, this is where I'm gonna hit the wall,
Right.
and I'm gonna go back to just whatever.
Right.
Now I was working out before we did the whole thing with James and Bill and you, and it was like, all right, I'm working out, I'm doing some stuff, but I wasn't like, it wasn't intense. Like I was
There's no
doing it,
goal.
but I was getting into it, and then it was like that really drove me to go take it to the next level. And I think that's when like the diet started, the weight loss. Like at one point I lost like 17 pounds, and I went back up, but I'm gaining more weight because I'm building,
Yeah.
but I'm losing fat,
Right.
and that's like where I feel great. I'm not satisfied, and that's the
Right.
best part is I'm
And
not
that's
satisfied.
The thing is, like, yes, it does take consistency, and it's not a overnight process.
No.
But I guess what I'm here to say is, like, I feel like 3 months went by like that, and that was damn near 60 pounds.
Dude,
Freaking
you went nuts, man.
went like the before and after pictures are insane, and I didn't even realize it.
No, but when I put the side by side together,
Oh my God.
the picture you sent though,
Yeah, it's so bad.
that was like you were when you lost everything
That
and
was
then you
when I
were
was super dried out.
and then you
yeah.
were dried out and you were like super skinny and weird looking.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was
I
weird. Like
was.
your eyes were like coming out of your face. Like you were like, I was like, that picture's a little creepy, but I'm gonna make a side by side because the transition was amazing. It was
Yeah.
super impressive, and I told you 100 times when it happened. I was like, dude, I'm so proud of you.
I know.
That was big, and I was like a proud father.
You
I was
were.
like at a party with my family. I'm like, guys, look what Ian looks like. Look at Ian. Dude lost 55 pounds. Like they're all like, oh my god, like good for him. It was awesome. So very proud of you for doing that. That's
Thank you, man.
because
No,
because we said, like, how easy is it to just like surrender and just be like, I'm done. I've reached this point. Like I'm this weight. My life's not going to change. I can't. Insurmountable, like is what you said. Like
right.
I can't get down to this weight. That was my weight when I was. You're like, that was my weight when I was in the Marines.
Right.
Like I can't get to that. It's not possible. But it is, and you did it.
Sure.
So, and
Well,
the best part about
I'm not
it,
down to my Marine Corps weight.
close to.
Well,
close
I'm
to.
like where I'm at when I got out.
Okay,
Yeah.
but still,
Right,
you were
but, like-
20 years old,
Yeah.
right? Or 20?
I was
What?
18 when I graduated.
Yeah. So I mean, like, think about that. Like,
But like that, that was never like a goal, and it really still isn't. Like I feel really good at where I'm at now.
Yeah.
Like we'll see how I
if you maintain where you're at right now,
Oh, super happy.
maintaining that because like,
Because
we
here's
could
the
go
thing.
right back to where you
like
were.
I said, I was at urgent care the other day, and like all my vitals are like perfect.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh well, that's
It
what I
wouldn't.
want.
It would not be there
right
if it wasn't for what we've been
no
doing.
chance.
Right.
Oh, I know exactly where it was. It was not good.
Exactly.
Um,
But how? And you feel like shit. You wake up. You feel like shit. Yeah. You were comfortable enough to be like, I'm gonna stay here.
Sure. Well, here's the thing that I've said multiple times to people. You know, it's really cool too when you do something like that drastic of a change, like that's physical that you can see.
Yeah.
A lot of people reach out, which has been awesome.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, because I didn't really say anything until like the competition thing was done. You know, and I had all these people and everything, and that was really cool. What I found myself saying over and over again is you don't realize how bad you feel until you feel good.
Absolutely.
Like I didn't feel like, let's be real. There were nights where we were drinking half a bottle of whiskey,
Getting food.
eating pizza,
Yeah.
eating tacos, whatever,
Yeah.
and being, by the way, completely fine.
Oh yeah.
Like
you wake up feeling like shit, but you don't
even realize
But you're in your
'cause it was
comfort.
the normal.
You're in your comfort zone.
that was normal.
and that's my lifestyle.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stick with it because it works.
Get up, eat a bagel sandwich. You know what I
Just-
mean? Like that was
it's because
just
that's what
normal.
works. But I mean, it's amazing what you can do.
Now, like, dude, the day after we ate pizza and wings, like I felt like crap,
Oh, I'm laying in bed the next day and I'm
and like it was worth it, and I'll do it again. But like,
you have to. If you don't
oh yeah,
if you don't like you could diet and be very conscious about what you eat, but those days when you could like splurge and go out and enjoy like a lot of junk food,
right,
sure, it's great, but then like you feel like shit.
right. But
But that's what's cool about it though, is like we eat like we did and you realize how miserable it feels.
right.
Like I mean,
Well, and I know that like the next day I gotta close them rings because
Yeah.
you guys will
we're gonna be on your ass about
be
it.
on my ass, and I'll be like, it'll be 10 o'clock at night, and I'm gonna have to go for a 5-mile run because I gotta close them.
Yeah, you're not gonna be like,
I don't wanna
okay,
do that.
if you see the text message going like, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, you're like, well, shit, I gotta do it too.
Right.
I'm not gonna be the
And there's
guy
no
out.
ignoring on that, by the way.
No, you're gonna hear it. Like the other night, I got home. It was late. I got the kids to bed, and I saw everybody had their rings closed.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm nowhere near it.
Yeah.
It was like a Tuesday night. I'm like, it's 9:30. I have all of the workout time to do.
Right.
Like my rings were all the way to the top, except for the stand goal, which is the
Well,
most garbage
Doesn't
ring of
even
all
mean
time.
anything, yeah.
I'm like, all right, fuck it. So I go to the gym, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be the only one not closing the rings today. So go
Got
up,
it done.
got it done. I was 11 o'clock. I'm like, still got a little bit more to go on the, what's the red ring?
Move.
Move.
Yeah.
So I'm running up, like I got home, took a shower. I'm like, still got to close that. So I'm like running up, sprinting up and down the stairs.
That's what I do all the time.
And it works. Like I'm
Yeah.
like, and I'm like,
But think about that. Those little changes make a huge difference.
if you have a support group,
That
and you have
dude,
people holding you accountable as fuck is
yeah,
what we say,
literally.
right? Yeah. That's it, man. It was team accountable as fuck, team fit as fuck. Like, I mean, it's the best thing.
But it's fun.
Yeah, we've been having a great time with it. Now I got to transition real quick
Yeah.
because this has been on my mind since yesterday afternoon. I'm like,
talk
this is
about
something I got to talk about. So I'm at work and there's a place across the street from us. Okay. There's like another business across the street, across the parking lot, what have you. So there's a guy that sits by me, Trevor, and we're talking. Him and I like just talk all the time. We just joke around. The guy's phenomenal. He's hilarious. So him and I are looking out the window, and there's this kid, and he's trying to put a office chair in his car. And he's got like this little sedan.
Okay.
Okay, so he's like an office chair, like this with the wheels and everything. And this kid's trying to jam it in there. And we're sitting there just like doing like voiceovers of what he's saying.
Yeah.
And there's this woman sitting there like just she got her hands on her hips like trying to help him out. I'm like, him and I are going back and forth about what they're saying, cracking up. I'm like, this kid's not getting a chair in there. I'm like, I almost feel bad and I should go over there and help him. They can't do it. This kid's not budging. This chair's not getting in the car. He's sitting there like ramming his shoulder into it, he's getting into it. 5 minutes go by. All of a sudden, this dude comes walking out of that office across the street. He's got an Indian shirt on, tucked in to jorts,
Nice.
with a braided belt.
Oh yeah.
And all I can see is from his waist up,
Okay.
or his legs up, because he's behind the car. And I go, Trevor, I'm like, dude, if that dude right there has dad shoes on, that chair's getting in that car. I'm like, let's just wait. So we're both like on pins and needles, just waiting for this guy to expose himself. Like, I'm like, I cannot wait to see. They exposed themselves.
Waiters on the glass at the Lions Club?
That ain't right. No good. So all of a sudden, this dude comes around the back side of the car. Sure enough, he's wearing Air Monarchs.
Nice.
He goes in there, fucks around in the car for a little bit, pulls it, gets the chair in. We were both dying because the guy's wearing Air Monarchs.
Did he give it a tap?
He taps the trunk and walks into the sunset. It just goes right back into the building. Like, doesn't say a word. Just gives it the pat and just walks right back into the... Dude, I wish. I mean, oh my God. I'm like,
oh, that's the best.
it couldn't have been more perfect. Because I'm like, just jokingly, I was like, if that guy's got dad shoes on right now, it's on.
Fucking dads, man.
It's the shoes. The guy, dude, it took him a minute. He's like, you see him in there fiddling around a little bit, slams the door, pats the trunk, boom, back into
The trunk pad is the best.
He didn't even say a word to the kid.
Yeah, there's no words need to be said.
He's like, yeah, no big deal. It's like,
There you go, sport.
sport. There you go, champ. Sport. There's a TikTok, goddamn TikTok. I'm done with TikTok. But
No,
anyway,
you're not. We're getting...
we're getting into TikTok, but I'm done watching it. So there's a TikTok video out there, and it's like, it's this guy like taking a video, and it's like, when the job's about to get done right? They're like working on a deck or something like that. And this person's panning around, and it's like the waist and below, and every single one of these guys is wearing a pair of jean shorts or like khaki shorts with ankle socks and dad shoes. And there's like 6 of them, and every single one of them is wearing that same exact outfit. It's like when the job's about to get done right, and they're all sitting there with their tape measures, measuring everything. Everything's perfect. It's like, dude, that is the best TikTok I've ever seen in my life.
You know what's so funny though is like, actually, I don't even want to say this because I've never heard this before, and whatever, it doesn't matter. So those videos where it's like, it's like white girl summer or whatever, or not even summer, but like it's fall.
Oh yeah, the outfits
And like it's the Uggs and the jeans and whatever.
the whole outfit, the hat, and all that
And like
shit.
we make fun, like people make fun of these girls dressing the exact same. It's the same thing as dads.
That's it, man. It's the
I should
dads.
make that video, by the way.
Should absolutely. We're on TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Like,
I was dying. It was one of the best things I've ever
so
seen.
good.
I just,
You should have filmed it.
I wish I did. It was just so perfect. that him and I were just joking about it.
Right.
And this, I mean,
And then it
the
happened.
guy walks out like there was like pigeons or doves that flew out behind him when he walked out of that door. Like you knew, like he had this presence. Like, here comes Dad. Like,
Yeah.
got this. He didn't have to say
Saves the
anything.
day.
Here comes Dad.
Yeah.
I got this.
I got this.
You guys trying to jam that chair in there? Step aside. Nailed it. And then just walks off into the sunset.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just glorious. There should have been an explosion behind him as he
Well,
walked
there
into the
probably
building.
was.
I couldn't see it from my angle
Right.
because I was behind him.
Right.
If you were like in front of him, you saw the
Right. You
explosion.
yeah.
Everybody saw it.
Yeah.
Dude, doesn't get any better than that.
Oh,
hold
man. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
So another thing is I have to say,
Oh.
have you ever been to Waldemere?
No, I've not.
Went there today. Highly recommended.
That's what you said.
I've heard a lot of good things. I think Jankovic has taken his kids there several times,
Yeah.
and it's like it's the best, man. It's the best. I'm like, okay, well, it's like it's like an hour and 15-minute drive
Right.
into PA. It's like this little, it's a little amusement park. They have like roller coasters and other types of rides.
Yeah.
But we went to the water park. It's like Water World or something like that, and a bunch of slides, stuff like little areas for kids and everything like that. Dude, it was amazing. I highly recommend going there.
Okay.
And if you do, you got to go on a
maybe
weekday
going
though.
Weekday.
Weekday,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
weekend we got there at 11 on the dot, and we got into.
Is that when they open or?
That's when they open.
Okay.
You know, got good parking. Got in there. You know, the lines weren't big at that time, but it was awesome, man. The
Yeah.
kids had a great time.
Good.
Sam was super impressive. The kid went on the big slides.
Oh, that's exciting.
The big slides, man. I
Yeah.
was like, dude, all right, man. Like,
And they're pretty big.
they're
right?
big slides. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, like kid was all about it, man.
Yeah.
He did great. For Sam, like that was big, and he was
Yeah.
all about it. I told him today, I go, I'll get deep into this a little bit. Get a little. I was very proud of him. I told him today, I go, listen, man. Last summer we said, what was our goal? I'm like, we said that we want to go and do the monkey bars, go all the way across on your own. You know, come this past April, he goes across the monkey bars on his own, all the way across.
Yeah.
I'm like, that was a big goal. I told him, like, that was a big step for you, buddy. I'm like, that was huge. Then I'm like, okay, there's a place called Memphis Kiddie Park.
Yeah, I know.
Like, Sam's like a little nervous about rides, and I was the same way as a kid, I'll admit. But I'm like, hey, you got to go on the roller coaster. You got to do that this year. You know, you're ready for it, you know? Like, just do it, man. You can do it. It's going to be fun. You're going to realize how much you love it. He did that. So I told him today, I go, you went on the roller. I'm like, what was the goal? Go on the roller coaster. I'm like, and what happened? He goes, I did it. I said, you're going to do the monkey bars all the way across. I'm like, what'd you do? He goes, I did it. I'm like, we said that you're going to go underwater in the pool because that was a big fear of his.
Mm-hmm.
And you were going to learn how to swim. And he goes, and I'm like, what happened? He goes, I did it.
Dude's a fish.
And I go, he's great. He's doing phenomenal. He figured out how to swim this year. That was a huge step for him. And I go, and then we said you were going to go on the big slides. I'm like, you said yesterday you were afraid to do it. You didn't want to do it. And I'm like, what happened? He's like, I did it. I'm like, dude. I'm like, I want you to know right now, I'm very proud of you.
That's awesome.
I'm like, that is huge. And you can see, you know, the look, like
yeah.
he took it all in.
The
He's
melt
like,
your freaking heart.
yes, exactly. And you see,
Yeah.
he was like so pumped. He was so excited. I'm like, see, buddy, I'm so proud of you. I want you to know that every day I'm proud of you.
That's amazing, dude. I mean, you're literally. I mean, think about this. And like, we both had great dads,
Yeah, for sure.
and very fortunate that we did, right? Like,
sure, yeah.
Understand that. I don't think that my dad ever told me he was proud of me until like I graduated Marine Corps
Yeah.
boot camp. You know what I mean? Like,
And
that's just because it's not
this is
because
how-
he wasn't proud of me, because I know that he
Yeah.
was, and like I always felt that he was, but to have that conversation with your son and let him know that you're proud of him is going to mean, like, currently does mean the world to him. I already know that.
Yeah, for sure.
But will mean the world to him as he goes through other challenges in life.
yeah,
You
it's
know
those
what I mean?
feats.
Like-
You're getting through these things and you're accomplishing big goals.
Right. And
That, like,
probably
if you
faster than without that support.
Oh, for sure. I mean, dude,
I mean, he's 5.
he's 5. He's doing things right now, and I told him this the other day. I go, listen, what you're doing right now is more than I did until I was in high school.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't play this sport. I didn't go to these. I didn't play soccer.
Right.
I didn't play basketball. I'm like, dude, I did baseball.
Yeah.
That was the one thing I found it, and that's what I rode with.
Right.
And that's like, my parents were like, "That's works. Let's just go with it." You know?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you've done 100 more things than I did until I was older, which is amazing. And I go,
Yeah.
and I don't think I realized it until I started telling him. I'm like, because I tell him all the time, I go, listen, I want you to be better at everything that I ever did.
Sure.
I want you to be better than me at everything. He goes, and he asked me, he goes, why do you want me to be better than you? I'm like, because it's just, I'm like, you could accomplish that. You could do that.
Right.
I'm like, I want that for you. I want you to be better than I ever was at anything.
Right.
And I'm like, I just want you to do these things. Go into it like with an open mind of like, yeah, I could be good at this, or it's not for you. Move on to the next thing. Like, I think we're giving our kids these opportunities to try these things. Like, you go to all these different camps, basketball, football, baseball, whatever activity it might be, you're going to find their niche.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's cool that we're doing these things for them. Him doing the stuff that he's doing already, as far as like water slides and all this shit. I wasn't doing that at 5.
Well, look, we are super blessed in that our parents set us up with that positivity, with that positive reinforcement, right? Like I can remember your dad like cheering me on at baseball. You know what I mean? Like he was everyone's biggest fan.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Very supportive.
I guess like we had that to an extent, right? And then when we became dads ourselves, I think it was good for us to be able to kind of go through that all at the same time.
For sure.
And then try to just do more, right? Like we were just talking about this accountability group that we have. Like it's the same thing.
Yeah.
But we're pushing each other's kids and, pushing them to do more things and try more things. And let's face it, like we've worked our asses off really, really hard to be able to afford to do a lot more than
what we were able to do.
I mean, our parents were younger than we were when we had kids.
sure.
You know what I mean? So like there was just different circumstances.
Yeah.
Like I think about my dad, like, yeah, I played baseball and I didn't get to play football until really junior high, but like my dad was also 20 when I was born.
Yeah, your dad
And
was
they were trying to figure shit out.
Think about that. Like when you think about that, like as a kid, and you're like, my dad is old, but like your dad was a freaking kid.
Dude, I'm going to be 36 this year. When my dad was 36, I was 16.
Yeah, that's nuts. I know.
So like I have a 10-year window of like becoming an adult myself and like having earning potential to be able to provide for my family, right?
It's
like,
completely different
it's
story.
Such a different scenario. So I don't know. I love that we are able to not only do those things, right? Like tell our kids that we're proud of them for accomplishing a goal or facing a fear or whatever, but then also like then talking about it.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's what we try to do with this whole podcast thing.
I think
make
it's
that the normal.
Absolutely. I think you need to tell your kids when they're doing something that you're proud of, like they're doing something that's right. Because I mean, let's be honest, like we're all guilty of this. Like you're most of the time, not most of the time, but a lot of the time you're telling your kids what not to do.
Yep.
Like think about what you did wrong there.
100%.
You made a bad decision. You did this. So a lot of it's not, you're not conscious of it. Like you don't really think about it in the moment.
Right.
But a lot of times, majority of what you're telling your kids is negative.
Yeah.
Because you're telling them what they shouldn't be
Absolutely.
doing. So like we said this a long time ago. It's like celebrate small accomplishments, like when they're really young.
Right.
But you should do that all the time. Is like, hey, good job doing that. Good job being well behaved at said restaurant or party. I'm really proud of you for what you did there. How you handled that situation.
Just because
Positive
it's
reinforcement
expected doesn't mean it shouldn't be celebrated.
Absolutely not.
Like, because I tell my kids all the time, like, well, like, we get into a thing where it's like, hey, if I'm really good at the store, can we get McDonald's or can we do this or can we do that?
Yeah.
And part of me is like, dude, the expectation is that you should behave.
You should do it. Like
You should be
there shouldn't be
polite. You should be kind.
a big ass reward for everything you
Right.
do.
You
You shouldn't
don't
have to
need
go
to-
shopping after you
Right.
do something good.
Right. But on the other end of it is maybe if we celebrate those positive behaviors that we do expect, maybe that does become the norm for them,
Agreed.
right?
I think we're still trying to figure this out.
Oh,
you know
100%.
what I mean? Like,
100%,
like
but
you think you got it all figured out, but that's absolutely
But
that's
like
true.
I have to remind myself that it's okay to celebrate, you know, quote unquote small accomplishments because just because it's expected doesn't mean we shouldn't be like proud of them for it.
Yeah, like you leave somewhere and you're like, dude, I'm so proud of the way that you handled that situation. So proud of how you were polite and how you did this or you did that or you were quiet in this situation. Like,
Or even if it's not specific, like I noticed myself a couple times, you know, because there was days like I said, he was at work with me all day, you know,
yeah,
and there was days where I was just like, dude, I can't, like, this is enough's enough. You got to stop asking me for things. But there was days where he was just awesome to be around.
yeah,
And I did make sure to tell him, like, hey, man, I had a really good day with you. Like, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for doing this, you know, whatever. And I wasn't even, like, saying specific things,
yeah,
but just wanted him to know that I had a really fun day with him.
yeah. Like, hey,
And I
buddy,
think that's great.
that's awesome too because it's that I guess the reassurance. Like, hey,
For them, of course.
yeah,
it
it's
is,
like it's like that. Hey, we went to this park together, just the two of us. I mean, dude, awesome job today. You were such a good boy all day.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
That's instead of being like, you shouldn't have done this in this situation. You shouldn't have done that. Like you were
Right.
being terrible decisions on that. You know what I mean? Like, and it's
So easy to do.
So yeah, tell them that you're proud of them.
Yeah.
because it goes a long way.
Or just tell them that you had fun with
Or
them.
just tell them that yeah,
like-
hey, you did this today was awesome.
Hey,
You
man,
were-
that was fun.
yeah, because that goes a long way. You don't really think about it, but like when you don't remember all the time.
Right.
But there's certain moments where you do remember things. Like
Right.
your dad saying something to you. You don't know when that moment's going to be because certain things are going to stick out to you. Like you remember a moment with your dad or
Yeah.
your mom, them saying something to you or like a specific event that took place. Like those are the type of things that are going to stick with you, but you never know when that moment's going to be.
Right.
So try to make them all the time if you can. I mean, I'm just coming
Yeah,
up with this
why
off the top of my
not?
head right now because I'm thinking about it.
I love that.
But it's like,
Why not
yeah,
try to make them every day?
this is why I love this shit
Yeah.
because I wouldn't be thinking about this. Yeah. God, I love this podcast.
So good. How
So
good is
anyway-
this whiskey, by the way?
This is phenomenal.
Also, how amazing. How long have we been going?
Hour 20.
How amazing. Like, speaking of just like moderation and things
yeah.
like that, like, how amazing is it? I mean, and this wasn't full when we started.
No, but it's pretty good, man. Like I was like pouring a little bit. Like
Yeah.
it's great, man.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. It's all good shit. Man.
Dude, I don't know. We've kind of touched a lot, but
Did we? I was across the table from you.
nice.
That's what she said.
That one
Nice.
touched a lot.
Real quick, let's talk about what's in store
What's coming
for
up?
this season.
Okay, so we've talked about it, right? Like a little bit at the end of the last season
Yeah.
about our ideas, about how
I don't remember- I don't
we're,
remember
we're,
what we
op-
said
we're
at the
opening
last-
this thing up.
I don't remember what we said about
Neither do I.
last season,
But I know
yeah.
I know that we did mention that we're going to open this thing up
Yeah.
to anybody,
Yeah.
all walks of life, moms.
Well, so I think for the first 2.5 years, the focus was let's talk to other dads, get their perspective on things.
Yeah.
Right. And now I don't want to say we're transitioning, but like we want to get as much information as we can for dads.
Yeah.
Right? Like we're still going to talk to dads, but we could talk to anybody. We could talk to moms. We could talk to people that are not parents. But if we can find topics or information to bring value to you as a father,
Yeah.
like
That's the goal.
why wouldn't we do that?
I think it was Sanjay that said it best. I think it was Sanjay during Business Mastery. It was like,
Yes.
you go somewhere and you're going to talk to people, right?
Mhm.
Like, you talk to dads, moms, whatever it is. But when it all comes down to it, we are the talking dads.
Right.
We don't have to only talk to dads.
Right.
Like, we are the talking dads.
Right.
Like, we're talking to other people. It could be anybody.
Sure.
We're the people. Like, it doesn't have to be only dads.
Right.
And I think it was like, yeah, we could.
That makes sense.
It benefits any father
Right.
who's listening. If we talk to anybody about any topic that
Well, because
goes into fatherhood.
to our base, which is mostly dads.
Yeah.
Right. But it's not all dads.
no, Other people listen.
But if we can go through some topics with professionals and other industries and things like that bring value to being a father, we need to do that. That's
Yeah.
like our responsibility to do that.
Yep. So that's our goal for this season, right? Is just trying to open this thing up and talk to anybody that's
Yeah.
going to bring value to the show. And what else?
So it
do we
might
have?
feel a little bit different.
Yes, I think it could be different, and I think in a good way.
Yeah, I think so too.
So we
And
have,
you know what? If it's not, then
well, we go back to dads only. So we could always,
Yeah.
we could always pivot.
Yeah.
We could do
it's
that.
our show. We do what we want.
Do what the fuck we want. It's our
Yeah.
show. We're the talking
Yeah.
dads. So what else we got going on?
Yeah, I don't know.
We got a big event going on, and
we got some events coming up. Yeah,
yeah.
we October 3rd, right?
yeah, 3rd is a Sunday, right?
yep.
Yeah.
Our buddy Morris is running for county commissioner,
Mm-hmm.
and we haven't really gotten to the political side of things around here, but he's a great dude. And
Phenomenal guy.
He's throwing an event for first responders, Spalding Fest, right?
Spalding Fest, right? Yep.
And so he asked us if we would want to come out and live stream a little bit. So we're going to do that. So that should be a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Talk to some people.
The idea, we have some ideas for it.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be fun.
So
that's
that's
a big
coming
event. And as of right now, they're supposed to. I don't even know if they're doing it. I haven't seen any type of anything for it.
The Bourbon
Trail.
thing. Yeah.
So I don't know if that's going on, but we should.
I think that's happening.
If it's
but-
happening, we'll be down here.
yeah, we'll be down here hanging out.
That's the day before.
Yeah.
So we got that going on. I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna figure out some more opportunities to get out in the community and do some stuff.
Do a raffle or something like
Yeah,
that here.
yeah.
And we got some ideas.
Yeah.
So you
It's
know.
gonna be a fun season. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna do some more live events, of course, up at Pub Fredo.
Yep. Next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, yeah. Next week.
Alrighty. God, time flies.
Whew. So yeah, we're gonna do all that kind of stuff. We're gonna continue doing some reviews. We're gonna continue some quickies. Yep.
Quickie.
So we're gonna do all that, and then we'll get active on the socials again.
Yeah, we're even gonna get into TikTok.
Yeah.
Gonna give that a go. We're gonna try to get in with the cool crowd.
I guess we just got to do it.
Just do it. Just
Yeah.
jump in.
It'll be fun.
Absolutely, man. A lot of stuff planned. We're excited to be back here in the studio. Get some people lined up.
Yeah, I mean we have a lot lined up already. So,
Yeah, we're good to go, man. It's gonna be a lot
yeah,
of fun.
we'll get it going and get back into the swing of things. And I think that we've already said that we're not going to be so hard on ourselves about I don't want to call it consistency, but like, listen, we got a lot going on.
Life
We're
happens.
gonna do the show as much as we can.
I don't think we're gonna be able to go to the point to where we were last season, where it was like that last year, where it was like every single
I mean, there was like a few months there where we were doing twice a week, three
Yeah.
times a week.
Sundays,
And like
Saturdays,
I
Fridays.
feel really
like-
bad about it now.
Yeah, that was a lot, man.
But it was fun.
Hey, it was a lot of fun. Hey, who knows? We might find ourselves in that situation
could.
again.
You
But
know,
you know
I
what?
mean-
We make it work.
Yeah.
And we enjoy doing it. We enjoy doing this whole thing.
The bottom line is we want to, or at least I want to, find that balance of doing the show, which is great for me, great for you, and for, the fan base and all that kind of stuff, but also not taking away from our kids and our families and things like that.
Exactly. And that's the main goal.
Yeah.
Gotta be dads.
So we're
Preaching
gonna
being
continue
dads,
doing
gotta
that.
be dads.
Right.
So
Cool, man.
yeah, I feel good about it. I'm happy to be
great about
back.
it.
So thank you. Season 2 starts now.
Yeah.
Let's
we're
do this
here.
thing, man. We are back. We are back.
Cool, man. Well, make sure you tell all your friends, follow along, help us grow this thing, because
Yeah.
the more interaction we get, the more I guess shares and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff we get. Like that,
Get us
that
out
makes
there.
it worth it. So, please tell all your friends and do us a favor, and
Share
help
it
us
up.
out as much as you can. I
Absolutely
guess.
support us. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, well, in the meantime,
Yeah.
Be present, be patient, stay
and
positive. We'll get that eventually.
Yeah.
That's new.
That's our new slogan.
Yeah.
We came up with it.
Yeah. We'll get on the same page here. We need to sync up again. We'll
Yeah,
get there.
We'll get synced. Love you guys.
Thank you. Peace. Hey guys, if you love what you just heard or watched, and we know you did, do us a solid and hit that thumbs up. Share with your friends and throw us a comment, literally about anything. Your support legit keeps us going. Oh, and don't forget to give us that 5-star rating. We really appreciate you.